Alright, so I just loaded up this game. Enjoying the soundtracks and the game, I guess. We'll see what's up. Just finished the live stream, another session. I'm waiting for Rich to finish up on his stuff. And then we can meet up and do our stuff together. Okay, 60 strength, 60 agility, and what do we have? Oh, okay, yeah, I can now do it. Let's we'll do it. There we go. Alright, so it's gonna level up a little bit. Last time we played, I got the better set, so life's good. What about my gun? I want to get better. I want to get better at a lot of things. As in, how to say it? I can start the conversation. Ooh, I have more monsters attacking. That's cool because the class is doing more massive assumptions. Anyway, I'm watching like a lot of people I admire, like Markiplier and Carrot and stuff. Some that play games and do things like Mr. Beast. A cool kid that's donating money and doing what he likes, and that's cool. And my whole life I've been sort of like not trusting myself, especially when it comes to socializing. The biggest thing for me was reading in public and stuff like that. Like, I was always sort of afraid, like that kind of like stage fear. Oh, I'm getting goodies. Alright, yeah, so like stage fear and, you know, that whole attention thing. I'm just kind of like, I don't know, like, just not good with it. I'm multitasking, like, it's funny, my ability to communicate, I would say. I'm focusing on the game, and I'm like, am I making sense while I'm talking? That's my little problem, I guess, but, I don't know, like, I guess my point is, like, since I was a kid, I had this, like, stage fear, reading out loud, like, I was really bad at reading out loud in school. When it started, like, I didn't go to the kindergarten. I was afraid of people. Every time my mom or dad would bring me, because my brother was going to the kindergarten, so like every time we would go pick up my brother, and they were saying like, hey, we're gonna go here one day, and I was like, I would just burst into tears, and I don't want to go here, I don't want to do this. So like, my parents were like, chill with that. They were like, okay, if you don't want to, no, force you. So I didn't have to go to the kindergarten. But I did miss the stage where, you know, you can meet with people, you learn to fight for yourself as a kid, you meet others, and I skipped the social part. I would go like outside and play outside, but even then I was like this like scared cat that was like afraid of people. And like them and all this stuff. So keeping my distance, always being behind my brother, facing people and all this stuff. It was a bit difficult, but I grew up with that. And then when I went to the first grade, I go to school and I'm in tears, and like people are like, hey, let's have fun, and I'm in tears. Like, I'm crying in the first grade, and like the whole year, every time I'm in school in the mornings, I cry a lot. Like, I don't want to be there, I don't feel like it. For me, like the whole thing, it's a bit scary. I don't know if you can hear me okay because of the soundtracks and stuff. But anyway, like the whole environment was eerie, and like people, their energy, their entities, even they're just kids, but I did not fit. I just felt like so outside of what I am and all, and it was just like scary as fuck. And so we would have like waiting classes where we would read, and you know, we would read out loud and just part of the lessons and stuff. And I couldn't. And I was afraid to read, and I couldn't pronounce things, and I would just burst in tears again and stuff. So for me, like, it was just kind of like traumatizing part, right? And I ended up like to the point where like I had to stay after school, and I had to have like marbles under my tongue, you know, kind of like a Hitler thing that he did, and just like practice reading and like, staying after school a lot. And I was getting a little bit better, but I hate that. And so like since I was a kid, I had this like part where reading is hard, and I don't know, like I never looked into do I have dyslexia or anything, because like when I read, a lot of times like the letters change. It's like I mix words. I can like read a word and the letters will change how I see them, and the whole word will be different. And at some point in life, I think like, because of you know, just like let's say my grandparents will be cutting the tree with this chainsaw, and a little bit of the bark of the tree will get into my eye and stuff. Like various stuff happens, right? And I damaged my eyes a little bit to where I have astigmatism, and that's a part where a little bit of your eyes is damaged, and depending on from which angle you look, number 5 will look like 6, number 6 will look like 8, and so on. And so for me, I have a lot of difficulties because like I just don't see things clearly. Like depending on the angle and how I look, like it has to be right for me to see the right words. So like I don't know when that appeared. I have no idea, but it just happened. And at the same time, like reading out loud, I would always like I read and the next word I'm reading in the sentence is wrong. It's not what it says. So I'm either not paying attention and just like following everything was like for me it was really hard. So I hated reading out loud, and I developed a fear because every time I would mess up, people would laugh, and then you get that kind of attention, and I was like, I just hate reading. So that was the bit of a challenge for me. And from then on I built this thing where, you know, like in Lithuania, or at least in my school, people, you sort of like to have to fight for yourself a little bit. And what did I get? Coupon, okay. Anyway, like yeah, like so people aren't that good, you know, they're not gonna encourage you, or there's no tolerance, especially in Lithuania, or at least my school where I am. People just like are inconsiderate, they're not mature, they don't care about you and all, so it's so easy to get laughed at, you know, you're saying a poem or something and all this attention, it's a lot of that stuff. So for me it built up as a kid, and I hated interacting with people and all that, so it became a bit of an issue in my world. And from then on, just like whole reading out loud, I also like started reading in my mind out loud, and just built up. So with all these things building up as layers, I find people in life that are doing things I like, and I think I would enjoy. I'm not there yet. But I started, let's say, once I'm still in the school when I started translating, it was like 2015, and it's like 6 years since I'm translating anime online. But while translating anime, I learned more English, I learned more Lithuanian, and there's this process that like when you're translating it, and when like the context and stuff like that, part of it is like you have to read out loud what you just wrote, so that the sentence would make sense, so that it would sound like what you're translating, it has to be the way you would talk in ordinary life, so that it wouldn't be too fancy or like word by word. Like for example, if you were to translate from English to German or from German to English, the words get mixed up and it's word by word, or like just kind of like Google Translate. There's no quality there. So one of the things like I was taught by my higher ups is that when you translate, you have to be like kind of like a programmer and imagine having a duck. And this duck is like, once you're doing something, you have to tell the duck about its process. Like okay, so here I am writing this sentence, and this is what it sounds like, and you say it out loud, and you hear it, and when you hear it, like, well, it be better. And I started paying attention to like the characters that I'm I'm translating anime, right? And there's like lots of various characters. Like for example, older people, younger people, and then where do they live? Are they from the village? Are they from like a gang? And their life is like focusing on all these details. I started paying attention. Like if I was in a gang, what would they talk about? And then you learn like the whole gang languages and, you know, specific neighborhoods and dialects and stuff like that. So I started paying attention, and like me saying it out loud, I learned how to get better. With all that, I noticed that like I would like to do this acting. I would like to, you know, just like read over and see if I can get anywhere. I'm far from making voices. Like in Lithuania, like the difference is like for example in America and probably like other places in the world, when people are doing voice acting, they will have a team and tons of people giving voices to tons of different characters. In Lithuania, it's usually one person. It's like one person doing voice acting for a whole movie. So you have like this kind of like, it's not monotonous because there are some really good professional voice actors, and you hear their voice and it like just, damn, like you have an eargasm, really. So for me, like it was a big deal hearing those people, and I got inspired. Like, you know, like I was wondering, like, you know, like sort of like translating anime into Lithuanian was one to a bit of patriotism. A lot of people in Lithuania, they're like leaving the country and they hate Lithuanian language and stuff like that. So I wanted, like, you know, like for kids, so that they would not go looking for content and just like sort of like forget their language. I would like to give them something in their own native tongue, which is why like that was like my main point, like just like sort of introducing people to Japan, and at the same time sort of like keeping the English or the like Lithuanian language as a main, helping them with that like stuff. So with all that, I'm just like looking at the quests. With all that, as I kept on going, like I learned about people, and like I started like paying attention to who's doing voice acting, how are they pronouncing things, and I started admiring that. I know that like I'm far from good, and I talk fast. Like my whole life, abandoned mind. Where is that? My whole life, I was talking fast. I'm wondering where's that. So I'll just go from one place to another. But yeah. I'm always like talking fast, and I'm mispronouncing things. I'm not talking well in English, and there's like tons of aspects to it. So I want to get better. Like finally stop and enunciate things and talk clearer and make more sense and just be better. And so like seeing, let's say, Markiplier and others, I admire them, and to see like they kind of like get results that I want to have. And with all that, I just like feel like, hey, well, what if I started working on myself and reading out loud and stuff? So like I started like taking my time for myself and just reading books, but just closing myself in the safe environment where I wouldn't feel judged or anything. And then I just allow myself to just read out loud, take my time, and I'm far from good, but I started to enjoy. Like, you know, like one thing is like reading books, so like it's helpful in itself. But at the same time, just like, how to say it, I get to practice. I get to practice reading and my own skills and stuff like that, so there's that. And again, like, I don't know, like, I'm talking a lot, but I wonder if I'm making sense, because like my main focus is in the game, so I don't know if like, what was I saying? Am I still like, am I making sense and all this stuff? It's a thing. So yeah, there's a lot of that stuff in my life, but let's see, 50, we can start using these guys. Anyway, as I'm reading books out loud, and I'm not doing it a lot, because I get like giving different priorities doing sessions and stuff. So There's okay. I should put this in practice. As I'm reading books and getting a little bit better, I'm not doing this often as I want to, but I'm paying attention to like, hey, if I'm playing video games, there are those where sometimes like in indie games you don't have voice acting and there's like text, like for example Zelda. There's some voice acting, but you still have to like read the text. And for example Fallout now, you would have to like, there are lines that your character can choose from, and then you pick one and you have to say it. So I think like I would like to add the content where I give myself the freedom to actually take the parts, read it out loud, and one of them has like a bit of like, I don't know, like it's not being afraid of judgment. I'm just not touching my skills, and I don't know, like I don't find my own voice that attractive yet, or I don't know how to say it. Well, you listen to like Cabal or others, and it really depends on the taste. Because for example, like I prefer male voice, but it really depends on the female. Like I haven't listened to that kind of female voices to say like, hey, I like this one, I don't like that one, you know. But it's like you hear a voice and you can tell who it is and how it sounds and how it makes you feel. And I wonder if I could actually like, when playing games, read some of the text and get to the point where like I'm confident and I feel good about what I'm doing, and the people watching the gameplay are like, well, it's not that bad, you know, like you don't suck, but it's somewhere there, you know. So like, I'm bringing it up because like there's the game I saw like with Nikola Tesla, or like some indie games that I could actually play for fun, but at the same time I would get to practice speaking out loud, reading, and not necessarily doing the voice acting as much as just like practicing pronouncing things. Because like when I read, it's usually in the plane, so like in English, if I get comments and stuff, it's great. But I'm so far from getting good, you know. And I want to get better. I want to improve. And so like I'm working out, I'm cooking and other things, and then like, you know, like I see like lots of improvements where I'm getting better, but I want more. And this thing like with, you know, like voice acting, or I don't think voice acting, that doesn't have to be that, but just reading. Reading in itself and reading out loud and enunciating things, I would like to get good. So there's that. Big ass story. But you know, like this is the channel. Like, I like playing video games. There's a lot of things I like in life, and for example, like if I was to upload this video on my main channel, I wouldn't feel as comfortable because most people are into spiritual topics and they're like, hey, Aquila, talk about Ubis, talk about different things, and I end up feeling like I can't necessarily do exactly everything I want to do. And then the audiences get split. Some people might come here for gaming, some people might come for other things. And here in this channel, I'm gonna give myself freedom to play games or to do other things. So it's not just like Aquila Sao plays, it's not about just playing video games, but playing in life. And, you know, all over the place. So whether I end up playing guitar, or I end up playing by cooking, or working out, or playing games, doesn't matter, it's gonna be part of it. And I feel like, you know, I can share part of myself, about myself more. So for those that stay, you're gonna get sort of like insider look into my life and what I'm like. And I'm always willing to open up, answer questions and everything else. Like, this is so different, because as a person, I always felt like I'm really private, and I don't like people getting in my life. For example, people can create a Facebook group and add me in there, and there are times where I feel welcome and I feel like at home, but sometimes it feels like, you know, like they're pushy, or how should I say it? I guess like the example I can give is like with recent stuff. I was watching like Harry Potter with Rich, and there's this part where I think it's the 5th or 6th movie. there's a time where Dumbledore has to go to the Azkaban, or like he's no longer the head of the school, and this lady in pink clothes takes over, and she's from the Ministry. And when she takes over, Gary and his like friends are about to make a team and fight back, and then fight back and be little rebels and get some time and stuff. And they decide to get a group, but the group is called Dumbledore's Army. And it's kind of like, it's not Harry's army, it's not like, you know, like Hogwarts army, it's Dumbledore's army. So it's sort of like misrepresenting the name. It's like, you know, like the person isn't even there, but someone's doing something with the person, stuff like that. So I feel like some people are doing it, and sometimes I feel welcome, but then they're pushing it like a whole different image to what I am and what it's like. And I start feeling very different. I'm gonna stop because there's like some story here and I'm skipping it. Disengaged in the story. Again, like, I could read this out loud, but I'm not there yet. Like, I don't think I could read fast enough and then portray the message down the stuff. I wanna get there though. Okay, we got some story. Stage. So coming back to the topic, I'm in life, I feel like a very private person, that I don't really like sharing my private life details, and I grew with that, like whatever's in the family stays in the family, so if there's some shit going on, you don't go telling about it the whole world or in school or anything. And then again, like people gossips. I don't like gossips. You know, there's a lot of these things, and I'm again pretty private with that. There it is. So now with YouTube channel and everything, I learned to be more myself, to open up, and I'm working at it. Like, I'm the person who is like really closing off and doesn't allow any people inside. I had my trust broken. Like, there was this like going through sexual abuse when I was a child, and then, you know, talking about it with person, like, you know, kind of like girls in school, or like just people. She was like, you know, like hey, well, you know, like, well, here's my secret, and she was telling me her stuff, and she's like, well, what's your stuff? Like, what's your secret? Like, let's like, we're gonna be like best friends forever, shit like that. And I told her a thing, like, you know, like, hey, I was like sexually abused, and here's the thing. And next thing you know, the whole school knows, and I've been made fun out of, and you know, it's really, there's no pleasure there. It feels really icky to be the target, and from then on, like, I felt like, you know, like, if I had anything going on, I'm definitely not gonna tell it to people, because I don't trust them. They're not gonna keep it safe, and I just had this like really harsh experience with people, and from then on I felt like, I can't trust anyone, so I'm gonna keep it real quiet, keep a happy face on, pretend that everything's okay, and not go out there. And now in life, like I was working on myself. Like there's people I admire, and just working through it all, overcoming a lot of those issues. And I have a YouTube channel, and I'm talking about my life, and I'm talking about all of these things that are happening to me. Well, most of them actually. Like there's a lot of like I'm still keeping, but like I share a little bit at a time, seeing how it works for me. And just even here, allowing you, like it's my gaming channel, but at the same time, like people that are not like not on my main, or like people that are on my main only, they will not see this. And those who are here, they are like getting like inside look, and for like you might not like the video games that much, but you might have interest in me, which is like awesome, and I really appreciate it. And it's like I'm not taking it for granted. Like it's my whole life. Let's say like when I started like talking to Rich with DX and stuff, there was a point in my life where like a lot of shit going on, and I was like, like, hey, well, easy for you to talk. You have like 36,000 people who like you and stuff, and I'm all alone. And so like I was sort of pushing it on him. And now I feel like, damn, it's like just silly. Like I didn't have what it took. Like I didn't have my own strength, my own confidence. I wasn't fighting for myself or anything, and I was just like sort of like blaming the world for my own downfalls. Like shit happens, and now I'm more in control of myself and my own life. And whenever something happens, it's me. I just like look at myself. So anyway, I'm talking a lot, but hopefully this is making sense. And I don't know, I just like it feels good having this channel and not meet friend. It's funny because friend is my other aspect. So anyway, this is just fun. What I was saying, like, well, this channel, like, I feel like I can finally upload, like, I'm doing a lot of things throughout the day. Workouts and sessions and working with people and answering emails and comments and stuff like that, but like, gaming is my chill time. Some people watch movies, I prefer games. And I get a chance to record it and upload it. And I'm amazed that someone actually spent their time watching me and getting to know me now. So it's amazing. And I want to provide some content where something you're not gonna get on the main, or just I don't know something different. So yeah, so there's that. Just talking here. It's 20 minutes after midnight. I'm not even sure if I'll have to write to Rich, because he's working on his own project and he might know that I'm recording stuff, and he's like not gonna interrupt, and like we have this like, that's not a rule, but like more like mutual respect. If you're doing something, have fun, so if he knows that I'm making a video or something, he's not gonna come in or anything. Oh shit. Okay, there's a lot of quests here. So yeah. I'm looking like, some of you might have seen Mr. Beast. It's basically Jimmy. He's about, I don't know, like 23 years old? I think he's younger than me. I think, but I should look it up. Or 24, I don't know. Anyway, he's a young guy, but he started like from playing video games into doing some just like fun activities, something silly that actually built up quite a big community, and now he went into 40 million people, like subscribers. When he got 20 million, he planted 20 million trees with his team, and he's like, it's kind of like in philanthropy where he's young, but he is not that material, and he wants to give it all away, and it's amazing. Like some people like are billionaires in this world, and they're still are into making money and sort of fucking up humanity even more. And for me, like I want to get to similar level where what I'm doing actually has the good effect on humanity, one way or the other. And I will, you know, whether I make money and I can donate it to others, I want to do something for people. Something. And so like seeing like Jimmy, Mr. Beast, do it to others, like he recently opened, it's kind of like a burger joint, and basically it's like free burgers. People just drive in and they get free food. At least that's what I read from Twitter. He's gonna make videos about it, like he's gonna look up Mr. Beast Philanthropy or Mr. Beast Gaming. He has like a few YouTube channels, and it sort of makes me feel more confident in what I'm doing. It's like it's okay to separate your YouTube channels and do what you like, and just go for it. And I don't know, I feel more confident. Just like, hey, there's stuff I like. I'm just gonna do what I do. What am I doing here? Didn't even read what this quest is about. Yeah, last night I didn't sleep that much. Oh, there's Ren. Hello. It's kind of ironic. It feels like my aspect is also not doing too good. I was gonna say something. Yeah, I didn't sleep that much last night because like I'm living on the 10th floor, and it's super windy, and the 10th floor, like, so you get the nice view of the city, but at the same time some lights are on, so like it's not completely dark at night. It gets dark pretty fast around 4 p.m. It's already like, is it evening already? Oh, it's just 4 p.m. So like winter time it gets dark really early. I didn't click the button. I saw that. I didn't click. Shit. What is it? Fuck. Alright, damn it. Okay, it's been a while since that happened. Anyway, so basically I'm keeping like blankets on the windows to make it fully dark. I like it better. And the blankie was just rattling from the wind and hitting things, and then at the same time, like I had this kind of like weird headache where it's not the head that hurts that much, but it feels like there's this part kind of like it's being pulled. Like there's a part of the head that's kind of like being pulled, and I'm like, I just had this the whole night. So like I usually sleep on my left side, so I couldn't sleep on my left side. So like unusual, like on the right side already. So just adjusting to things. And yeah, I guess like 4 hours of sleep. But that's okay. It's like my schedule just changes all the time. Now let's do this one. Can we use? Yeah, that's. Is this like a? So we should be stronger now. Anyway. With my super flexible schedule, I allow myself to just do whatever. See, I think whip safe. Collect whip safe. Is it from here? Well, I wanna. Oh, probably from you guys. I wanna kill off these beans while I still have my. Where is it? Can it kill me? Hey, you. So now we need to kill these guys off. There's actually that one where I might. Oh, what's it? Okay, cool. So we got all of this. Just gonna kill off a few more because we don't have. Well, find them. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, just sharing the story of my life a little bit before I go to bed. I guess I'm just gonna do these quests, like finish them off and end off for today. Green despair. Rest of the account. Right, yeah, so we're good. A daily essential. Right. Can't use it. Attack and kill. Chance. Attack. Yeah. What else? We can sell off everything else and then I can wrap it up for today. Alright then, people. Hey, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here and being interested in my life no matter what I do. Appreciate it. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for now. And I don't know, like, really glad that you're supporting me. I really appreciate it. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.